right ahead and go into this second segment, which is going to be about the WNBA All-Star Game. Now, one of the things that, interested me the most was the format of the WNBA All-Star Game, right? Like, you know how the USA's, well, not really USA's, the NBA's, pardon me, the NBA's format for the All-Star Game is very, very different. Sometimes you have, West versus East, like we recently had last year. Sometimes you have Team LeBron against, Team Steph Curry, Team Kevin Durant, whichever, right? And then they draft the teams, which wasn't really that good of an idea. If I'm going to be honest, it wasn't interesting at all. Then there's most of the time, it's West at East, and not really meh. It's meh, Like, I mean, we're so used to it that different formats, they're gonna be like, ooh, very cool, but at the same time, it's not something that's really competitive. Like, it doesn't really get people in a competitive feel. And then they also tried to change the format again when Kobe died, rest in peace, where the final quarter was some sort of weird math where it was like the most team points scored. So let's say the team was at 106 points, right? You have to win by scoring 24 more points if you were the team that was scoring 106, and then the team that was below by however much, they had to get to that total before the other. It was very confusing. Like, it's confusing to even explain. And so this format that the WNBA has is actually far more interesting, I will say. So they have Team USA, like the women selected for the USA roster, against the WNBA's All-Star team, right? So voted by the fans. So Team USA was composed of Brenna Stewart, Aja Wilson, Diana Taurasi, all of those players, Brittany Griner, Kelsey Plume, Sabrina Ionescu, all of those players. Meanwhile, the WNBA had stars like, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Boston from the Indiana Fever as well, and the player of the game, who was Arike Ogunbowale, again, forgive me if I completely botched that name, but she ended up scoring 34 points, in the win against Team USA. Yes, Team WNBA, the team of all-stars that mostly composed, some of them were rookies, right? Well, there were only 2 rookies, but most of them weren't on, Team USA ever. They ended up beating the Team USA women's team, which is said to be, the best female players in the world. So Team WNBA ended up beating Team USA, which, is just, in my opinion, the perfect revenge story for Caitlin and Angel Reese for getting snubbed from Team USA. I genuinely feel like those women should have been a part of Team USA, but unfortunately, especially Caitlin. But unfortunately, at least from where I'm standing, it feels like the whole WNBA just doesn't really. They have a mark against all of them. Like, against Angel Reese and Caitlin, they all have it out to get them. And this game was very, very competitive. Like, from the jump, not a single player from Team USA wanted to give Team WNBA a chance at winning. Like, they were so focused on stopping Caitlin and Angel Reese. Those two, Caitlin was getting pressed up at full court. I am not kidding. In an all-star game, Caitlin was being pressed up at full court by Kelsey Plume. Not a big fan of Kelsey Plume, for reasons I don't want to get into. But aside from that, Angel Reese was also getting a lot of attention when she was on offense. Like, they rarely tried to get any of them in a rhythm. They didn't even care about any other WNBA player. They just focused on Caitlin and Angel. They did not want them scoring. Caitlin did not have a great game, but didn't really expect her to have a great game with the way that Team USA was playing her. Like, they were only focused on her and they did not want her to score, which is unfortunate for them because Ogunbowale ended up cooking them, ended up absolutely destroying them in the box scores. Not to mention, Brenna Stewart also played really well for Team USA, but overall, Team USA, they ended up losing at the end of the day. And as a Caitlin Clark fan, this is what they get. This is exactly what they get for not putting Caitlin Clark on the team. But at the end of the day, if we're going to talk, strictly about, I'm just fixing my light. I apologize for that noise. If we're going to talk about strictly, like, is Team US, like, just about Team USA and their chances of winning the Olympics, is it in jeopardy since they don't have Caitlin or Angel? No. I don't think that the women's basketball team for the United States is going to lose to any other country. I don't think that's going to happen. Like, even though they do not have Caitlin, which I wish they had, she's arguably the cleanest player on the basketball court, aside from someone like, Sabrina Ionescu and Brenna Stewart and all of those great female players. Now, I don't think this is really going to affect Team USA that much. And every single time that Team WNBA beats Team USA in these All-Star games, Team USA ends up winning the gold. And on top of that, they have never not won the gold ever since the women's basketball ended up becoming a sport. Like, I don't think they've ever. It's rare that the women's basketball, like the women's Team USA, ever even loses a game to any kind of other female basketball organization, simply because it's been around. The WNBA has either been around longer, and the United States provides women way more opportunities than other countries really do. So the other countries are still trying to play catch up with Team USA, with women's basketball and things like that. So their opponents are probably going to be way easier than going up against Team WNBA, which it's a good way to start. It's a good way to wake up this WNBA team. And quite honestly, I really don't like how I just can't stress that enough, just how much they all just despise Caitlin for whatever reason. Because again, getting picked up in full court in an All-Star game is insane. I don't think Steph Curry doesn't even get picked up at full court. Steph Curry doesn't even get picked up at half court in an All-Star game. And here she is getting picked up at full court. Like, they are out for blood. It seems like they were out for blood in the entire thing. Now, I'm just trying to pull up Team USA women's record in Olympics, because I don't think it's very rare that they end up losing a game. Like, it's very rare. And for some reason, the server isn't loading. Okay, wow. I can't give you that number anyway, so I apologize for that. But regardless, I mean, this was a good challenge for Team USA, but now it's time for them to win, right? It's time for Team USA to win the gold, and that's exactly what's going to happen. And eventually, I should have also noted that Caitlin and Angel, they have never been teammates before, up until this instance, and they alluded to, being teammates on Team USA. So Caitlin really wants to play with Angel, and Angel really wants to play with Caitlin. So in case all of you guys think that, they just don't like each other, Angel and Caitlin don't like each other, it seems more like a facade for Angel. Like, Angel's just playing into that villain role. And I mean, I don't really like the comments that she makes, trying to, garner some attention to herself. I think her game is enough to do the talking. That's just me personally. But, she's still a fantastic player, and I have nothing against either of them. I hope that they really I really hope they pedal the WNBA to making way more money than what it's already making. And I also hope that they end up being some great female basketball players in the future, and they inspire other females to be great as well. Like, just imagine Kobe Bryant. Imagine if he was alive right now. He would absolutely love to see the state in which the WNBA is right now. Like, he would probably watch every single game, and he'd probably talk about every single game. Like, he would straight up endorse Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese at the same time. Like, without a doubt. Maybe more Angel Reese than Caitlin, but I don't know. I feel something tells me that he's going to really that he would like Caitlin a little bit more than he would like Angel. But who knows? Anyways, with that out of the way, we are out of time for this second segment. So now I will go ahead and go into the third segment, where I give my grades for some of the draft picks in the Summer League, based off of their Summer League performance. Now, I'm only going to do up to number 14 because, if I was to do from all the way, from every single pick in the draft, I would be here all day. And definitely not going to try and do that. So this is only going to be for the 14 picks. And so I will be right back after this short break. Be sure to stay tuned if you guys are interested in hearing that out.
Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSMC Sports Network is available on YouTube. Just search GSMC Sports Network. Get your fix of daily sports talk shows on YouTube, absolutely free. NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, MMA, UFC, fantasy football, and so much more. GSMC Sports Network has shows running all day long, with new sports shows starting every 2 hours. Just like on your favorite cable sports channel, except GSMC Sports Network is absolutely free. Just search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube to catch one of your new favorite shows, like the GSMC College Football Podcast, Chip Shot Football Podcast, Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, GSMC Basketball Podcast, and so many more. Check it out for yourself. GSMC Sports Network, now available on YouTube absolutely free. Search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube right now.